other protracted conflicts. The UN tried to ease the plight of refugees and the ones left behind. By the end of the year, 250,000 people were trapped in Aleppo, while Syrian government forces and their allies bombed rebel strongholds. Peace talks seemed to lead nowhere, not even to a humanitarian pause in the shelling. The World Food Programme and its partners sent supplies to more than 4 million people inside Syria, even to hard-to-reach areas. Yet there's been little access to Aleppo since July. An estimated 100,000 children still live in the city, where walking to school can be a traumatizing journey.
This body was founded on the belief that the nations of the world could solve their problems together. Franklin Roosevelt, who died before he could see his vision for this institution become a reality, put it this way, and I quote, "The structure of world peace cannot be the work of one man or one party or one nation. It cannot be a peace of large nations or of small nations. It must be a peace which rests on the cooperative effort of the whole world. Together we must build new coalitions that bridge old divides, coalitions of different faiths and creeds, of North and South, East, West, black, white, and brown. The choice is ours. We can be remembered as a generation that chose to drag the arguments of the 20th century into the 21st, that put off hard choices, refused to look ahead, failed to keep pace because we defined ourselves by what we were against instead of what we were for. Or we can be a generation that chooses to see the shoreline beyond the rough waters ahead, that comes together to serve the common interests of human beings, and finally gives meaning to the promise embedded in the name given to this institution, the United Nations.
The United Nations General Assembly is the forum where a representative of each of the 193 member countries come together for 4 months each year in New York to try and resolve some of the most pressing issues currently facing our global community. The debates demonstrate the hugely diverse and often conflicting views and aspirations of the member governments.
Ethnic cleansing and genocide.
The Rotary Moona Weekend recreates the United Nations General Assembly. Moona is a worldwide initiative of Rotary to give young people a feel for both the workings of the United Nations General Assembly and to get an insight into diplomacy and international politics. It is also an opportunity to meet students from many other schools, to work together and have a lot of fun.
And the International Court of Justice.
Hi, I'm Sharon Marshall, a Rotarian from District 9820, which covers Melbourne South East, the Mornington Peninsula and Central Gippsland. We are extending an invitation to all senior secondary school students and their teachers in our district to enter teams of 2 students into our next Moona Weekend. In advance of the weekend, your team will be given a country to represent and the resolutions on current international issues that you will be debating. Before the weekend, you will need to research the beliefs, views and aspirations of your country on each of the resolutions. At the Moona Weekend, you will be representing and arguing on behalf of your country. Team members do not express their personal views. The debates do not just take place in the main forum. At the UN, countries increase their influence by forming voting blocs. You will have the opportunity to influence a collective vote of your bloc in side room meetings. You will sharpen your negotiating skills as you try and find a consensus around your country's point of view. The weekend also reminds us all to respect cultural, race and religious diversity and to celebrate the best of national customs and traditions. We encourage all students to come to the Moona dressed in their national costume of the country they are representing. But why Rotary in the United Nations?
U.S. President Harry S. Truman and other leaders from around the world founded the United Nations in 1945. Its purposes to maintain international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among nations, to help solve global economic and social problems, and to promote human rights. And it's no coincidence that some of these purposes find their roots in Rotary. Nearly 50 Rotarians served as delegates, advisors, and consultants at the historic UN Charter Conference in San Francisco, California. Rotary contributed not only to the founding of the UN, but also to its early work and to the creation of several of its specialized agencies. Rotary is involved in solutions to many of the same world problems being dealt with today by the UN. Problems like drug abuse, illiteracy and inadequate education, pollution and environmental degradation, as well as sickness and hunger. Nowhere is this more evident than in the area of polio immunization. Thanks in part to collaboration with the World Health Organization and the United Nations Children's Fund, Rotary's Polio Plus program is helping to protect 600 million children in the developing world from the crippling effects of polio.
In recognition of our continuing leadership, Rotary still maintains the highest consultative status with the United Nations of any non-government organisation. If you take up this invitation to come to Moona, you will leave the weekend with a much deeper insight into global issues, better debating and public speaking skills, and often strong friendships. At the end of the weekend, each team's performance is assessed and we give you feedback. The team judged to be the most effective at representing their country throughout the weekend is invited to participate in the Australian National Moona in Canberra. Moona is a powerful extracurricular activity that needs minimal school involvement. It pulls together so much of the VCE curriculum: history, geography, social science, English and drama. And because a Rotary club from the district sponsors each team, there is no financial cost to the school or students. For your sponsoring Rotary Club, it is an opportunity for them to engage with young people, to involve you in a local Rotary activity, and to demonstrate the importance of social responsibility. It also helps each club meet its obligations of service and contribution to the development of young people. So again, we offer you an invitation to come and get involved in Moona. You will find it both challenging and fun. If you would like more information on how to get involved with Moona, please get in touch with us through our Rotary 9820 Moona website.
www.moona9820.org.au.
Go on the website.
Yeah, you find everything.